Okay, so today we got the premiere of the Amazing Spider-Man trailer. Now, I know I did a video about a few days back talking about my further thoughts on Amazing Spider-Man 2, but here we are talking about the actual trailer. Now, the trailer pretty much tells you right off the bat that Spider-Man is going to be in a world of hurt, and I like the direction of where it's going. We basically see Spider-Man having this monologue of, the more people I save, the more enemies I create. And you see him fighting the guy who's going to become the Rhino. Why do I keep forgetting the Rhino's real name? Alexei, I can never pronounce that last name, but it's Alexei, or it's Alexei something. Yeah, well, it doesn't really, it's not a big point of this video, trying to remember the Rhino's full name. But anyway, we pretty much see him encounter the Rhino, which, by the way, I'm kind of surprised that I once again called it, because they've now announced that when the Rhino is going to get on all fours to charge, just like I thought. And it's going to be like a mech armor from the Ultimate Comics. We see a glimpse of that, we see a glimpse of Electro, and we get a glimpse of Green Goblin. We also get in here that we're going to see more of Peter Parker finding out more about what happened to his parents, and we see a monologue from his father basically saying that Oscorp, he helped Oscorp create all these things, and now it's kind of gone. Now he tried to stop it, and that might explain why he and his wife disappeared. So it looks like it's not just these three villains, but all of Oscorp is Spider-Man's villain, which I actually like the idea of Oscorp having Oscorp being the big villain and all the other ones are under him. Again, it's kind of like the Spectacular Spider-Man cartoon. It is a lot like that, in the sense that in Spectacular Spider-Man you had Oscorp do have a lot of the villains be created, and they're the ones behind all the villain creation. So it almost feels like they're taking a lot out of the Spectacular Spider-Man stuff, with the eels for Electro, the whole build-up with Green Goblin, and the Rhino. Well, the Rhino thing's a little different, but still, you catch my drift. But anyway, further on, we see that Spider-Man also loves being Spider-Man. He's still with Gwen Stacy, and also in here, we get the first look at Harry Osborn. We get to see Harry Osborn in this trailer, played by Dan DeHaan, and most of you guys would know him as the villain in Chronicle, and he looks like nothing like the Harry Osborn I know, which I'm actually really cool with. I am totally okay with this totally different version. He doesn't look emo, really. He looks more like a very also, his eyes are really blue. I'll say that much. His eyes are really, 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 really blue. And I don't really comment on people's eyes. It's just like his eyes are like so. Why am I talking about this? Why the hell am I talking about this? I don't know. It's just kind of like, wow, those the blue eyes, like bright blue eyes. Is it like something with the Goblin formula or some crazy shit? But you clearly see that him and Peter they have said that in the movie, Peter and Harry were once friends back when they were kids, and now they're recently meeting each other, and Harry tells him, look, Oscorp has been keeping files on you, I don't know why. And it looks like, at the start of it, Peter and Harry are going to be friends, but you're going to see throughout this movie that it's going to clearly decline, and Harry, as we can tell, as far as I can tell from this movie, he's going to be Green Goblin, the first Green Goblin, other than Norman Osborn. On the other hand, though, they could easily spin it around like in Spectacular, where they built it up that Harry was the Green Goblin, and then it turns out to be Norman the whole goddamn time. But on the other hand, we see Norman in here, like in the sneak peek trailer, all hooked up to different machines and stuff, and he's very sick. So maybe Harry uses the Goblin formula on himself, or maybe Norman tests it on Harry or something like that. I don't know. I'm just throwing out random theories on here, but it looks like Harry's going to be the Green Goblin before Norman, which I'm okay with, because there are a lot of I'm actually pretty okay with Harry being the Goblin before Norman, because Norman could still be the master manipulator behind all this, and then more than likely we'll get him to be the Green Goblin we all know in the following movie. It's a totally different universe. Am I a little bummed that he's not the Goblin first? A little, but you know what? As long as it's Harry and not like they totally changed it or they totally made like, oh, they brought Captain Stacy back and now he's the Green Goblin. At that point, I'd just be like, fuck it, fuck everything. So at least they're going in some angle. Also, the look of what the Goblin is, I bet you it's like a prototype formula for the Goblin, and the Goblin formula that he takes. And we'll probably, again, when they make Norman Osborn the Green Goblin we all know, hopefully he'll look like the Green Goblin we all know. So yeah. You also get to see more of Jamie Foxx's Electro, which I very much like. I very much like that. Also in here, before I forget, when we see that shadowy guy walking through all the through this vault, and few things caught my eye that made me go, ah! First off was we see him walking through this vault, and we see Dr. Octopus's tentacles and the Vulture's wings, and I was like, oh my god! And then they they start opening up all these vaults, and I counted 6 vaults. Yeah, and Mark Webb has recently stated that he wants to build up to a Sinister Six film, and it clearly looks like this film is going to be the start of that. And I've also been hearing that the Shocker is apparently in this movie now. Again, that's rumored. It's rumored that the Shocker is going to be in this film somewhere. I don't know where, and I don't know if it'll be like... It'll probably be something like the Ultimate Shocker, kind of like they're doing with Electro and Rhino. But I don't know. I don't know. Could the quilt costume work? Probably not, sadly. Probably not. But all in all, it does look like Peter is going to have a lot of problems. And Cooliovids, my good friend Cooliovids, came up with a great theory that that maybe Harry's going to be the one to kill Gwen Stacy in this movie, because it looks like they might kill her off in this film, and then the following, somehow Harry dies in this film or is badly injured, and Norman blames Peter Parker in it, and he takes the Goblin formula and becomes the Goblin we all know. And I know that's not exactly in the comics, but on the other hand, you know, the Lizard killed Captain Stacy, and if you've read if we all know comics, Captain Stacy was murdered by Dr. Octopus, not the Lizard. And I kind of like the bit of a change-up. And it's Harry Osborn as the Green Goblin, so it's not deviating too far if they go ahead with because we've seen snapshots of Gwen Stacy in the costume Gwen wore. I mean, the clothing, the costume that Gwen wore when she was thrown off the bridge. So, yeah, it might look like she might get killed in this film. And that would, like, if they badly injure or kill Harry as well as kill off Gwen in the same film, that third movie, his life is going to be upside down. His best friend and girlfriend are both dead in the film, and his best friend's father is now got these 5 other villains behind him, and they're going to wreck some shit. So, yeah. Anyway, guys, that's just my theory on it. I'm still wondering how they're going to put in, you know, the Green Goblin, the Rhino, and Electro, and balance it all out, and not make it a giant clusterfuck like Spider-Man 3 had. Again, the whole multiple villain thing wasn't the only problem with Spider-Man 3, but it was up there. It was up there, and I still have my worries about 3 villains, and now, like I said, I'm now hearing rumors of Shocker being in the film. That's 4 villains. But again, I think Spider-Man is one of those few superhero movies where you could do multiple villains and make it work. Spider-Man 3 just couldn't do it. So hopefully they get it right this time. And again, using Oscorp as the big villain and the people behind everything, that would make sense that they would make multiple villains. But I don't know. So keep your fingers crossed for Amazing Spider-Man 2. But anyway, guys, once again, I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and you guys let me know. What did you think of the Amazing Spider-Man 2 official trailer? Did you guys like it? Did you guys hate it? You know, let me know, and hopefully this will be a good film. Again, I'm really optimistic. It has a lot of stuff going right for it, but on the other hand, it could go so very wrong. Alright, guys, once again, I hope you guys enjoyed this, and I'm out.